Hello again, this is April Kelley. I just wanted to be clear as to why I came forward about J. Bartell and Judd Mcilvain, the consumer advocate. It's not to slam anybody, slander, to be mean, vicious, nothing. It's simply that I had requested J. Bartell and Judd Mcilvain to remove the lies about me, as their hosting account did, and the detective, and they refused. They said no. And I find it interesting because Jay, on CyberSoup.com, has me and Vim Dankbar's business together. We're not. Lie one, lie two, that there's things that he falsified. I think emails and stuff. 3, CyberSoup, he said that we destroyed Vim and I. Absolutely impossible. In 2007, Jay Bartell's the one that went downtown at the Secretary of State and dissolved that company. Not me, but all over the internet he is saying that I did all these things. I've done nothing to this man. He's the one that did everything to me, and to stop me, he hires a search engine optimization company, and/or the one that he owns, and he puts all these things about me. Now, Judd is very, very knowledgeable of all of this and is aware of it, and he even lets Jay put on his Troubleshooter Judd website a banner that links to all these lies. He refuses to remove them. What happened is I called, along with the detective and various other people. He refused, and instead of calling me, he calls my husband at work and is yelling at my husband, which is another thing. They put pictures of my kids with the address so somebody can come rape and kill my kids. They put personal pictures that Jay hacked our system and got on the internet. And they put my husband's workplace, and even provides a form that you can report my husband to his workplace as if he's done anything wrong, which he has not. And also for me, for the local police, you can report me. I assure you, I've done nothing criminal. This is the man that's been convicted of criminal acts, especially against Monty Roberts. Monty Roberts is the famous horse whisperer. That man has been through heck and back with Jay Bartell. And there's been court cases against him. He's not the only one. He steals people's websites. He cons them. He steals money. I mean, he's into so many illegal things beyond that. But in any event, I provided all that information to Judd. That didn't matter. He didn't care. I mean, what kind of a man that's a consumer advocate supports that? The same consumer advocate that recommended me a man that is a programmer that messed me over completely. If you were to, and all the emails were copy furnished to him, he totally knows. And it didn't matter. He didn't do anything about it. And what I find that's so interesting about everything is there's no voice for anybody like me on the internet. And I normally wouldn't care. I'm not famous, whatever. But when it harms my family, it bothers me. And I don't want my kids to end up having, some guy or some pervert come to my house looking for my kids because they posted pictures with our address. I think that's a fair request to take that stuff down. Especially since there's other lies up there. We destroyed CyberSoup, that company. That company was personally, taken, dissolved in 2007 by Jay Bartell himself, not me. But on that website, I destroyed his company. Now, they will say that I'm slandering them. How? I don't have a search engine optimization company. They destroyed the only website I had, and it was oiagent.com. Now, it now transfers to the site that I'm now doing for advocacy work for those that have been victims of internet crimes and fraud, slander, whatever. And I would hope that I can go forward and set new laws and then precedents that this is wrong. It's so wrong. It's put me through so much. I only did this website for my son's sake. My son was diagnosed with something that there's no child care for around here. I was forced to stay home, and we didn't have enough money for his therapies. And they didn't care. And I was hoping, even if it was successful, that company I can give to him when he gets older, because I was afraid that when he grows up, maybe he won't be able to get a job like some other people. I mean, I'm trying to do the best as a mother, which brings me to another point. Jay Bartell said all these terrible things to me and did all these terrible things. He even called Child Protective Services on me in the local area. He called my husband at work asking about me. I assure you, everybody, the principals of my kids' schools would say that I'm anything other than a bad mom. And he claims that he's a behavioral specialist. He's not. He doesn't even have a license that he claims he does. It's invalid. It's actually canceled. And, you know, he claimed it first as a woman for 10 years, and now he claims it as a man, that he's selling a medical invention. The medical invention is an invention. I don't even know if it's really his, but he gives doctors that are in court for falsifying medical school, and he's behind so many evils, and Judd will back him up all the way and let him do all these things to me at my family's expense. It's wrong, and no consumer advocate does that. That shows what he's truly about. And I am really sick and tired of them trying to... I didn't have any website up. They destroyed it. I took it down. I had it down for a long time, and I told them, you've seen that it's down. Let's just call it a day. You win. You have my money. You do everything. Now you're hurting my family to the point that this isn't fair to them. I can give in. And then they still say no. They tell me no. The detective no. They told their hosting companies no. The only way that it can be taken down is by court, when Monty Roberts has taken him to court many times. Well, and it's determined, like the WIPO. Well, then they open up under another name and do the same things and make the people that were once their victim again. How does somebody keep doing the same things? And there's no answer. And then there's jurisdiction issues. I'm in one state, they're in California. The internet is not state to state, it's international. So it shouldn't apply, but it does. It's very unfair to me, it's unfair to my kids, and I don't appreciate it. And I've asked many times, and yes, I have been ugly, because I don't appreciate my children and their pictures up on the internet. And I don't appreciate my husband that was so kind to Jay Bartell be so ugly to put all this stuff up against us and try to get my husband basically fired from his work, knowing that this is the only source of income that we have at this point. This is so wrong on so many levels. And I would hope somebody listens to me, maybe lend credibility, come forward. There's other people who have contacted me. I don't know if they're going to post my videos, but maybe be part of my my organization that I hope to create, which is realjustice101.com. We'll see where that goes, because maybe that's what my destiny is. I can't get away from Jay Bartell, and I don't think it's very fair what he did to me. So maybe the ball's in my court, and maybe I'm supposed to change something and change it for the better. Unfortunately, it had to happen at the expense of me, my family, and something that I worked very hard for. And yet it doesn't matter at the end of the day. And if you have no money to sue these criminals or have an investigation to determine whoever used an alias name while registering a domain, so you have to get a private detective to say, yes, this is him, and I'll testify in court, and then pass it on to a lawyer so that the lawyer can verify, and so then go through all this stuff. If you don't have money, and they took your money, how do you have money to do all these things? This is how the loopholes they use to manipulate the law against the consumer. And yet this consumer advocate states he's for the little guy. No, he's not. Absolutely not. And I didn't believe that at first. And I even told the writer Vim Dankbar that I didn't believe that he was in on it initially. But now I know he was. All the emails were copy furnished to him. All the emails stated his name, that he was orchestrating it with Jay Bartell. I asked Judd Mcilvain, he refused to answer me. But then he can call my husband at work and yell at him. Does that make any sense? Not to me. Contact me if you can help me. Thanks.